Hello everyone. Normally I don't put much stock in these rumors, and least of all the Chans, but this one seems to be awful big, and it's made quite a splash in the community. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm assuming you've not watched Punk Rat, which you should, on YouTube. You don't watch Asmongold, which I don't blame you, I don't either, or any of the other huge name YouTubers out there, as far as what the hell's going on over at Blizzard. Now, I'm going to try not to get too political in this, because let's face it, I don't like it when people do that in insert whatever industry here, so I'm not going to try and bombard you with my personal politics. I'm just going to be reviewing bits and pieces, not a lot. Mainly this first little thing here, and then the World of Warcraft stingy here, because that's really all I give a fuck about at Blizzard, because I don't really care about Hearthstone, or Heroes of the Storm, or StarCraft, or Overwatch, or Diablo, or really any of that. Let's get reading. The mood across the whole company is bad. StarCraft 2 is dead. Diablo 3 is dead. Overwatch, despite most of the fucking office saying sacrificing our casual audience to chase esports money was a bad idea, is shock of shocks, dying. Hearthstone's being described as in a death spiral. We've had 4 projects cancelled in 3 months, and Ian's team, or Ian, I don't know how you say it, I always called him Ion. Ian's team doesn't want to hear it, but Battle for Azeroth is an unmitigated disaster. Oh, they don't know the half of it. Anyone who hasn't worked here for at least 15 years got a non-negotiable pay cut or the choice to walk. Josh Allen went berserk, all because Papa Activision wants to save money. That's believable. I don't know if it's true, but people begged Morheim to stay. Now the sentiment is he smelled which way the wind was blowing, or he saw the writing on the wall. Pick your favorite saying here. So many people are in positions, I think they meant so many people are in positions that they're unqualified for. This isn't an insult, it's a fact. There are people 2 years into new positions asking their underlings what to do constantly. The brain drain has affected company structure severely. No matter how people tear their hair out and yell, the higher-ups still think trying to make an esport out of every game is going to strike it rich eventually. This fool's gold wishful thinking horse shit has cost them millions. Massive crunch on projects like Diablo 4, people sleeping under desks. To be fair, that happened back in the day with Classic, just by the way. Grown men and women weeping openly as births and a few deaths are missed. So essentially they're having to work even though they're suffering family emergencies. Well, that's life. I'm sorry, but I guess they're saying they're having to work too many hours. That's a legitimate grievance if they're doing that, like, way too much. I'm sure isn't there a limit to how many hours a week you can work? Like, you can only do a certain amount of hours of overtime? It's the way it works here, but I don't know about the gaming industry. A graphics artist has been put on paid leave after being caught self-harming on his break. Oof. I don't know what to say about that then. Hope that dude gets help, or that chick, or whoever it is gets help. 2009 has really felt like things are stretched thin and reaching a breaking point. A plan to hire university students as scabs under a get your foot in the door scheme that may have well been called the free exposure scheme. I'm sure the musical artists out there going, ha ha, who would fall for that? I'm imagining some people will. There was a punch-up in the office after websites like massively reported on female employees having to log their ovulation cycles. What the hell? I don't know why that's relevant, but okay, Blizzard. Chris Metzen came in for the first time in a long time. He had major... For those who don't know, I think Chris Metzen was the guy who voiced Thrall. I think. I'm not sure on that one. I'm mainly an Alliance boys, but I think that's who Chris Metzen is. He might have also done some Alliance voice work. I'm not sure. Yeah, so he had major surgery on his back or something, and that's why Thrall disappeared for the Legion expansion, and he left the office looking 5 years older and just depressed. Many artists let go and work outsourced to companies like Thai asset producer XPac to lower production costs. So, that paints a grim picture of the offices in, yeah, that paints a very grim thing. I don't care about Overwatch 2 or Overwatch period, because I don't like Overwatch. I think it's a beautiful game. You just, like, have no customization for anything. You're either defending the hallway or you're assaulting or trying to get to the end of the hallway, and it's just kind of boring after a while. Don't care about Diablo 4. The last Diablo game I give a crap about was Diablo 2, so here, let's get down to what I actually give a crap about. The World of Warcraft. Now, I don't know how much of this is true, or if any of it's true. But it's interesting to read, so let's get it going. Final Fantasy XIV is no longer allowed to be mentioned in the offices. We don't allow negativity in the dojo, is a daily mantra now. Okay, I can kind of see that. But shouldn't you be able to compare, like, well, let's see, our competition, Final Fantasy XIV, is doing so, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing such and such. How should we make ours unique and yet different at the same time? Or how can we adapt what they're doing into a different way? What? Just banning it outright just like it takes a lot off the table, it would seem like, but I'm not a game developer, I don't know. They keep saying it's natural ebb and flow. We can weather this storm as well. Currently has dipped below 1 million subscribers when our biggest competition just announced they finally broke 1 million, but not in the dojo. Are they saying Final Fantasy XIV broke 1 million? I thought ESO would have been their biggest competitor, but if it's Final Fantasy XIV, great. Final Fantasy XIV is a good MMO. I mean, I don't know. I only played I played the original, and I played Realm Reborn. I never played any of the expansions, so I honestly don't know if they are, but I hear they're actually just as good as they were before. Loot crates were planned, but after Belgium... Wait, was Belgium the country that did that whole loot crate thing? Where hastily reworked into an in-game reward coming in 8.2 or later. Level Squish being tested for, I think, well, I don't know what 9.0 is going to be, but the next expansion. Which is kind of a big middle finger, it seems like, to me. If I played World of Warcraft through the entirety of, vanilla all the way to BFA, and I got to 120, and they said, we're going to level squish you back to, what level was it? 60. Next expansion, Lord's Cap 60. If you GM me back to 60, oh, there'd be hell to pay. You know how much time I spent leveling up to 120, I would think? Look, I get it. I know why they're doing it. It just seems like we're taking away all your progress. By the way, here you go. It doesn't look good. Response to Sylvanas is stronger than expected. Oh yeah, that's the character that burned down the World Tree in the Night Elf freaking home area. No wonder people didn't like her. So general sentiment is that players will come around by the end of the expansion. I don't even know what that means. Well, they didn't like her, so why would they like her by the end? If they don't like her in the beginning, I doubt she's going to do anything to endear herself to the Alliance. Why would they like her then? Or maybe they're saying, well, the Horde didn't even like her and she's on their side, so, by the end they'll like her. Well, what the hell? Why would they? You've seen her true colors at that point, so whatever. However, negative responses to Christy Golden, I don't know who that is, and the Void Lord's story seeding has more people worried. Yeah, you should be worried about BFA. BFA is a turning point where we exhaust the RTS lore and move on to new content, and our reaction from our core heavy users is not looking positive. The sky's blue, I hear. Next expansion lowers cap to 60 and level scales everything like the... Oh, Blizzard, did you not learn anything? That was one of my biggest gripes about Legion when I played. Say I leveled to 104, and then I decided to go to Valajar. I can't remember the frickin' zone name. Now everything's 104. There's no sense of progression. Everything's as strong as you are. The only time you start feeling stronger was when you hit 110 and you got some raid gear. Then everything got a little bit easier. That was it. That's the only time you ever felt any real sense of progression. Okay, whatever. Volpera, that sounds like a anthropomorphic... Wait, that's not the word I'm looking for. What's that word where... Furry? I don't want to say furry, but that sounds like a furry race. And Mechanome are the next Alliance races. Shouldn't that one be like Horde, one be Alliance? I'd imagine this would be the Horde one, this would be the Alliance, but I don't know. Alliance race unlocks will now come to the... I think that means faction race unlocks. Will come to the cash shop as a paid unlock after its expansion ends. Starting with Legion Allied races in 8.3, and the BFA races in 9.0. So that sounds like, and I'm only guessing because I only unlocked the Legion ones, It sounds like, for example, back during Legion, if you didn't actually unlock those with the quests, which were very easy, by the way, it sounds like you could just pay to unlock them. Skip content. That's not good. There are 2 tabled competitors for 10.0, and the reaction, so basically like 2 expansions, you're thinking awful far down the line, and reaction to the end of BFA is going to heavily impact the final decision on which makes the cut. The Classic team honestly looks like the happiest employees in the company, but there's a growing one-sided animosity between the 2 teams. They think they can just replace us, paranoia. Classic is going to dictate who is in charge of 10.0. If the money says one team's clearly the more profitable, they get the reins. BC and Wrath servers are in the works as part of the Classic trilogy. Now, I have good and bad things about that personally. I hated Wrath of the Lich King. I love Burning Crusade, but they really screwed my class that I liked in Wrath of the Lich King. I hated Paladins in Wrath of the Lich King. I hated Death Knights. So, I'm never going to join a Wrath of the Lich King server. I'll play Classic and TBC if they come out, but I'm not playing Wrath of the Lich King. Nope. Not going to happen. Do I believe any of this? Well, I would certainly believe the putting the races, the faction races unlocks in the cash shop at the end of the expansion. Yeah, I can see that. I believe that's probably true. In fact, I thought I heard Volpera were actually one of the races. I never heard of Mechano, but I have heard of the Volpera. I would like to believe that whoever wins in the Classic team versus the BFA team, whoever's more successful, I would like to believe that they'll get the reins. Do I think they actually will? I don't know, man. I don't know. Bottom line. I hope this is true. I hope not all of it. I mean, good God, people harming themselves in the workplace is just abominable. But as far as like the World of Warcraft stuff, I hope they go with the merit-based. Yeah, if Classic pulls in far more money than BFA, I hope they do for the company's sake. Actually, start listening to the Classic, creators and developers. Because personally, I think Classic is a far superior game to BFA. Because BFA is like a RPG simulator, whereas Classic's like an RPG. That's kind of a big deal for a lot of us. And actually, you kind of need to associate with people, because if you don't, you never get anything done. Well, you will get some stuff done, but there's a lot of stuff you need a group for in Classic, whereas if there's anything like Legion, you can just solo the game with LFR and, LFG, not looking for group. Dungeon Finder, that's the one I'm looking for. Almost said Duty Finder. That's 14. Or Final Fantasy 14, excuse me. Bottom line, I'm gonna go with this. To me, this sounds like an ex-employee who did get canned, but they added a lot of embellishing on it. I don't know how much of this stuff is true about people weeping because they missed deaths and people harming themselves. I hope that's not true, but it might well be. I don't even know what the hell to make up with the ovulation thing. It's like, what the hell is this? I don't even know. Why would you need to know that? It's like one of those weird-ass things that is so out there, like they either completely made it up or it's actually real. I don't know which anymore. We're in, like, Poe's Law territory of what the hell. For those who don't know, Poe's Law is you can't tell when something's parody because everything's fucking off the wall. You can't tell what's parody and what's not anymore. And at this point, that's kind of where I'm at. I would like to believe that, whoever wins between BFA and Classic will get the reins on the 10.0. Because I would actually maybe go back to modern WoW. I would like to go back to BFA, but nope, not gonna do it. I cannot do it. I want to go back and play more World of Warcraft, but I'm not gonna do it if that's my only choice. But I've been yammering in your ear long enough. As far as Hearthstone, from what I do, because I do like Hearthstone a little bit, I guess I should go over this. The new project leader, I think maybe the lead, was not popular with the team. Lots of butting heads at the meetings. User drop-off is staggering. No Blizzard game in history has fallen off this far or fast. Lots of worries about loot box bills counting Hearthstone packs as gambling, because they are. Rumblings in the halls that there's an experimental buy dust, pay more to get more, and save more system with legendaries now exclusive to paid adventures. No bueno. It's not the esport they wanted it to be. Oh, a trading card game's not an esport. Well. La-di-da. There was plans for, Magic the Gathering, to be fair, is kind of a sport, but not really. It's kind of one of those competitions, but it's not really a sport, but, who the hell tunes into the local, Magic the Gathering tournament? I know I never have. I never tuned into the national Magic the Gathering thing. If you think Hearthstone's gonna be a big esport, I don't know who the hell thought that. Maybe some old fuddy-duddy on the CEO thing said, just make it like a competition, they'll love it. That's what it sounds like from this. Everything needs to be an esport. Wherever that was. Oh, excuse me. Still a little stuffy nose. I don't feel that good, that's why I'm doing this. But yeah. I don't know what to make of this. I'd like to think this is real, but on the other hand, it's like, do I really want this to be real? People hurting themselves on break? No, I don't, but... If you want to know, this is, they deleted this thread on 4chan, or 8chan, I can't remember which one it was on. But I'll give you the link to the Discord app. I got this link from Punk Rat's video itself. I watched it. I don't think I'm just vomiting what he just said, but I'm trying to give my own take on this, but I personally would love to see merit-based, you perform better than that team, so you get the reins. I think it would do wonders for their company. I think it would. I'm not going over the Overwatch 2 stuff because that's very political, and I'm going to try and just ignore that. Let's just say I don't really care about Overwatch's story or the characters or their stories or anything like that. It's all just, So that's it. I'm not going to yammer on anymore. It's already been apparently 18 minutes. Holy crap, I've been just rambling on. So I'll leave it here, and I will hopefully see you all next week. I have a lot more stuff to do tomorrow night. I'll be doing a lot of recording since July. I'll be basically working my ass off. So that's what I'm going to end it. So hopefully I'll see you next week for everyone. Later, everyone. Until then.